Hello and welcome along to the West Wales Karting Virtual Racing Clio Cup Championship, commencing today on the PS4 platform, and there's a lot of eager drivers ready to get going in this one. There's 9 in total, as you can see. It's got Stuart Davis there. He'll be looking to get a head start with his jump starts recently. Spitfire as well has been going very well. Alex Brown in the mix too would be interesting. Dan Holloway loves these cars, and Monty MC Momo also has been going very well in these front wheel drives. And round 1 today is at Texas Motor Speedway infield course. 1.36 miles, 4 turns, so yeah, it's not too much work for the drivers to be doing on the steering wheel today, but it will mean that every corner is going to count a lot, and there's qualifying for this first race, followed by another race at this track, which will be based on the finishing order of this one. So round 1 looks like this, with Dan Holloway starting on pole position by the smallest of margins, just 18 thousandths of a second from Stuart Davis. Monty MC Momo in 3rd there, Delboy 4th, Welsh Taff 5th, Spitfire in 6th, Cortez 7th, Alex Brown and Pixie lining up there, and we're on the grid now and we're waiting for the lights. And the Clio Cup Championship is go here at PS4, and Stan Holloway with a great start. Stuart Davis close alongside him. Monty MC Momo as well. Welsh Taft's off. There we're on the grass, and he can go down the inside. He's outbraked himself and he's lost positions now, but he's still ahead of Spitfire, who's had an even worse start by the looks of it. Spitfire's well down in 7th. Stuart Davis is hunting on Dan Holloway as they go through the chicane now. He's looking for a way through in that orange car on Dan Holloway's blue machine, and Dan goes defensive. Oh, and they touch as Stuart Davis outbrakes himself and tags the end of Dan Holloway. That was a very big error there from Stuart now, because he's all the way back down in 7th position. Dan Holloway still maintains that lead, and Alex Brown has gone up to 2nd. He's a great starter as Alex Brown on laps, but Stuart Davis is in the pits, Alex.
Yeah, I think he went so wide, it's forced him into the pits to have a pit stop there, so that's going to be not ideal at all, because that's probably lost him at least half a lap on the rest of them as they go into the little bus stop chicane there. Monty now in 3rd, who's just got past Alex. It looks like he must have passed into the first corner, and not many corners here. I think it's only 4 or 5. There's not much to it, but it keeps the group quite close. As you see, Spitfire not in his usual place of 1st. He's down in 6th, which is
yeah, Spitfire's been getting a lot of success recently, hasn't he, in the recent races. He's won pretty much everything he's entered so far as a relative newcomer to West Wales karting, but yeah, he's got a lot of work to do here now.
Yeah, I think he's won every race so far in the PS4 group since it's restarted in the Escorts and Caterhams. I don't think he's lost one, but there he is down in 6th, which isn't ideal, as we're on board with that. Alex in 4th, chasing Monty in the purple liveried car there into this tight right-hander. You've really got to get it right, otherwise you do drift out, as you see there, and you don't really hook up into this tight, nasty little left-right chicane. Cutting the corner there a bit, but that's no worry at all.
Yeah, that won't make up too much time. And Alex Brown, after his incredible start, I was saying he's really good on these opening laps. He always has been on racing games, but he's back down in 4th now. He might be struggling with the pace a little bit to stay there, but we'll see what he can do. Monty MC Momo, after all that action, is still in 3rd. I think he might have lost positions, gained some positions, but at the end of it, he's still in 3rd place. And Dan Holloway now, you can see how hard he's pushing, locking up that wheel as he tries to escape from Del Boy's clutches. He's really putting the pressure on his Del Boy here, only half a second behind, and he's saying, I want to stake my claim to this race, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. So Dan's also got the advantage, as well as Stu, before he made a mistake. They're on the Xbox Clio Cup Championship, so they'll have a lot of practice in these cars compared to the others. Alex will have a little bit of practice. I think he's done 1 or 2 races, but not as many as those, and it's really shown with Dan up in the lead, but he's getting chased hard as Spitfire goes up into 5th there. Great move.
Yeah, fantastic move there on Welsh Taff, who's demoted down to 6th place. We've seen Welsh Taff getting in the action recently, and well, it's been a bit of a guess actually as to what his pace is going to be in these Clios. Sometimes he is a bit of a slow starter in the races and then builds up speed as it goes on, but he's often in the position to benefit, isn't he, from other people's mistakes. So yeah, look out for Welsh Taff. If anyone has an incident, he's going to be through, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. He's always there for an opportunity, but slowly falling back on the other guys. He's 2nd off Alex now, but you never know with Alex, he could also start to fall back as well, because the pace of the front here, rapid compared to 3rd and 4th, they're quite a bit up on the times there.
Yeah, and there's Spitfire through on Alex Brown. Look, Alex Brown's trying to fight back on the outside. He's going to try and get the cut back to get a good exit, but he's run wide himself now. Just got on the throttle a little bit too early, and when you do that in these front-wheel drive cars, you're just going to run wide and understeer, aren't you? So just need to be patient on that throttle, and Alex Brown, I think, now is going to fall back from Spitfire by the looks of it, and he'll have Welsh Taff to play with soon.
Yeah, it doesn't help as well with the understeers. This track's an absolute killer on the front left tyre, especially going constantly turning right. It's really go overheat it and lose your traction. It looks like Delboy there is having a look on Dan up ahead, but he's getting closer, it seems, and that's going to really help this man here, Monty, catch up if they keep battling with each other.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Alex, because Monty at the moment looks like he's got about the same pace as these guys, but not quite enough to close in. But as they start to battle with each other, it really could bring him into play, Monty MC Momo, who has had quite a bit of success actually in the past in the PS4 group, on front-wheel drive cars especially, so you can't count him out. But yeah, Delboy now is really on a mission trying to get past, and that's Stuart Davis recovering from his early shenanigans and pit stops, going past Pick Z there. Pick Z is a relative newcomer as well. I think it's his second race, Alex, is it? Second race?
Yeah, he did one in the Escorts at Liddon Hill, I believe.
Yes, indeed. So Pixie's getting up to speed still. He's a bit of a veteran on racing games. But yeah, he's just getting to grips with these cars still at the moment. And we'll see what he can do as the championship progresses. At the moment in 8th position and trying to follow Stuart Davis's lines a little bit. Welsh Taff now in 6th. Look, he's attacking Alex Brown. So these two have come together now. And they're in a ferocious battle, locked together.
He's really going for it. That's an interesting line there from Alex. He's really hitting the sides of the corners. He's locking up there. It's really not helping into that last corner. It's allowing the others to really catch him up. Luckily, Welsh Taff there runs wide, so that helps him a bit because there's no traction out on the grass there as you're accelerating. As these two are pretty close on the times up front. They're not losing time to each other, they're not gaining. They're always around that half a second mark, which is pretty impressive with the pace they're setting.
Yeah, that's Pixie. They're just getting out of the way of the fighting duo, and I think just letting Monty through as well by the looks of it. So Pixie driving very fairly there, knowing it's not quite his fight today for the top 3 positions, and the battle commences. But Monty MC Moore just gained a couple of tenths on that, but as you're saying, they're kind of just staying there or thereabouts, aren't they? So far it's quite civilised. I'm just wondering whether it's going to be a slow burner this, and towards the end of the race we're going to get some moves.
Yeah, I have to wonder, especially as it gets to that stages, there's bound to be a couple of dives, even if it is the first round of the championship. Everyone wants to win, especially Dan, as he has been racing in the Xbox Championship and hasn't won in that, so he'll be definitely trying to prove a point just to show I can still win a race here.
Yeah, probably. And just like the Xbox Championship, we're having 15-minute races for each round. And the starting positions are based on the finishing order of the previous race, isn't it? This one, obviously, being the first one, means there was a qualifying as well to decide the starting order. So it's 15-minute races, 8 rounds, and the first 2 rounds are here at Texas Motor Speedway infield course. And looking now at Dan Holloway's blue machine, and a very fast cameraman running alongside there, and you can see that yellow car very bright in his wing mirrors, his yellow wing mirrors actually, and trying to find a way past, trying to figure out where his weaknesses are. As a driver, you're just sitting behind there thinking, where am I a little bit quicker, where can I go for a lunge or 2 on the lap or 2's time, isn't it? And he's just going to try and size each other up a little bit here for a bit.
Yeah, you think he definitely seems faster, better on the brakes going into the first corner, so that's an opportunity just to let the brakes run a bit and go a bit deeper, try and force Dan into thinking, I got to brake a bit later to defend and make him into a mistake. That's probably his best bet, just to try and force the error. But as I said, they're very close. It looks like someone's coming out the pits there. I wonder who that was.
Is that Welsh Taff?
Yeah, it might be Welsh Taff that's done a stew and gone into the pits as he gets out the way there quite nicely. Looks like he's fighting back, but no, good job there getting out the way of the leaders.
Yeah, and he's come out now just ahead there, look, of, I think that was Pick Z, but looking at the timing, a good bit behind on the timing. So not sure whether he's been lapped there or not. I don't know. I think we'll find out. But anyway, the battle for the lead. Del Boy's still chasing hard. Stuart Davis is having a bit of a lonely one now. He's going to try and catch Alex Brown. Now that will be interesting if he catches Alex, because these two have had a few ding dongs, haven't they, in the past?
Yeah, especially in the LMP, and I think it was LMP at Daytona where Alex just pipped him across the line for the win, which I don't think Stuart will be forgetting anytime soon, especially with me reminding. But yeah, they've had some good battles in the past. I don't think this is Alex's forte, the old Clios. He's definitely more into downforce cars, but he's giving it a good go. He's up in fifth. He's a bit off the leaders. He's a bit lonely as well, but you might have Stu catching up to him towards the end with 5 minutes left of the race.
Yeah, they'll be watching that timing screen very, very closely. It's 14 seconds between them at the moment, which seems like quite a lot. And looking at the lap times there, it's about a second a lap quicker Stuart is. So, yeah, looking at it, I don't think he's going to catch him before the end unless Alex makes an error. Oh, Spitfire, though, he nearly makes an error. Look at that sideways action. You can see now the top three just up ahead. So Spitfire's got some serious pace. He's got race lead-in pace, or race lead-in... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Race lead in pace, let's just call it that. But he's really closing in though, isn't he? As these few as well are going to start battling a little bit more as the desperation seeks in towards the end of the race. Don't rule Spitfire out of this one yet.
Definitely not. He took advantage of a couple of errors. I think it was the last catering race where there was just a bit of a pile up and he went straight through and won that race. So anything can happen, and he seems to benefit quite a bit. But it looks like Delboy really caught up there in the brakes, but Dan's amazing through this little bus stoppy section into the last chicane. He's really fast around. It seems to be gaining the back the time where he loses in the first corner. You see that he went from 3/10 up to 6th, but it looks like Delboy really put the hammer in there. He's closed it in a bit.
Yeah, he's a little bit closer, but it's just... They're so evenly matched, aren't they? And Monty M's has just fallen back another couple of tenths now, but still all of them are lapping very close together, and with Spitfire closing in too. Delboy's going to have to hope that Dan Holloway, BDCC Dan as we know him, makes a mistake through this section. Like you were saying, Alex, he's so quick through there, and Delboy just hasn't got a look in when it comes to the corners.
Yeah, as well as having the advantage of actually driving these, as Delboy looks around the outside. I believe Dan was also in the touring cars when the GT4 touring car race was held here, so he also have that advantage rather than having extra practice around here, which is always handy. As they're catching up, who's that ahead? That looks like was it Pick? It's quite hard to tell from this angle.
I think it might be Pixie. Yeah, Pixie doing some rallycross. But yeah, slowing down, getting well out of the way. So good job by Pixie there. Riding on board with Dan Holloway still. He's not doing any rallycross today by the looks of it. He's stayed very firmly on the grey stuff, hasn't he? And he's doing a great job of making that Renault the widest Renault ever in Delboy's eyes.
Yeah, he's definitely he's defending quite early, even though Delboy's a bit further back. He's a lot closer on this lap because of the last one. He's really getting the hound down in the last stages here, so he might be widening up to a dive down there as he goes sideways in the rearview mirror there. Yeah, he's really, Dan's really put on a great smooth drive and really showing what he can do from when he's up in the lead.
Yeah, he's really taken this race by the skin of his teeth, and now he's only got a handful of laps to go. He just needs to hang on now to get a very well-earned win, but Delboy hasn't given up yet. Spitfire hasn't given up yet either on third place, Monty MC Momo, who seems to have just fallen back a little bit the last few laps. He's now nearly 3 seconds behind the leader. So Monty now is hoping to hang on for third, and we look at Welsh Taff, who is just going past Pixie again by the looks of it. So yeah, Welsh Taff's in 7th. I think that's position settled as well. And now Stuart Davis is within 10 seconds of Alex Brown, but yeah, I don't think so. I think the battle at the moment is actually for the top 4 positions, which is exactly what we want, isn't it, as viewers and commentators? Very exciting. Definitely.
Don't want to do commentary curse, but Dan was in this situation with the touring car GT4 race, and the last lap he had an incident and lost that race. So he definitely won't want to repeat that, as it looks like there's Del Boy winding up. He's definitely trying later on the brakes and really closing that gap up. He's doing a great job there. He's really getting that last bit in it, allowing him to just close up, but this isn't his fastest section, so he just loses it again. He's really going to have to take a risk and properly lunge on Dan, but Dan's not going to be wise to that, and
yeah, he certainly is going to be wise to it, isn't he, Dan? He's an experienced racer. He knows what's going on here. But if Del Boy's got anything up his sleeve at all, he's going to need to use it now. And he's looking on the inside there. But Dan Holloway has it covered, I think, so far. And he's just defending so early, like you were saying earlier, Al. He's defended so early that Del Boy is just thinking, well, I can't lunge. It's just, there's no way to lunge through there.
Could try around the outside, that's always a possibility, but it is the long way around. But you'll be able to get the power down a lot faster than when Dan takes the title line, because he'll have to basically hold the throttle a bit compared to him. So that's always an option, as we see Spitfire here. He's really closed up to Monty there. He's really gained down the laps. But obviously, I don't think he has enough time, as this could be the last lap. Or last lap and one.
It very well could be. Yes, I think this might be the last lap, so...
Oh, it was last lap.
Oh, that was... we're very professional, Alex.
Yeah.
That was the last lap, and Dan Holloway won that. Sorry, that was a bit anticlimactic. Yeah. Dan Holloway won from Del Boy, and Monty MC1 hang on to third there from Spitfire, who was chasing him hard. Great recovery drive from him. Alex Brown, I think, is going to come in fifth. Yes, he is. Stuart Davis now we're looking at. Comes home in sixth. Welsh Taff there in seventh. And Pixie rounding out the order in eighth. And a fantastic race that was as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, good win there from Dan. He's really shown his prowess in the front wheel drive Clios there. But it was a hard fought race. He couldn't make any mistakes. And you can see how close it is from Del Boy.
Yeah, really close actually on the lap times too. Very evenly matched, which bodes very well for the rest of this championship. So join us at round 2, another race at Texas Infield Circuit coming up soon.